Yeah, okay folks, here I am, back again. I'm going to discuss two phenomena, and I have to stay within the board so you can read it most probably better than. Okay, I'm going to discuss two subjects today. Okay, and the first has got something to do with this. Well, what is it, you may ask? Well, it's a fair question. That's a good question. This is a pot, a glass pot, in which I have put, and you can see it if you look more closely, I've put rice in it. It's the white thing. I put sugar in it, brown sugar, a cane, not the brown sugar that some people use, but normal brown sugar you put in the coffee. And I put coffee beans. And you see it nicely ordered in some layers. And I'm going to do a little experiment, and you can do this at home. So a lot of experiments are not done at home, preferably because they can be dangerous. In this case, I recommend you do this at home. And what I'm going to do is shake the whole thing up. I got a spoon here, and what I'm going to do is mix them. Mix them thoroughly. Sugar and so on. Mix it very thoroughly. What you saw was that the sugar was laying on the bottom and the beans were laying on top, but I'm going to mix the whole thing so that things are a little bit altered. And you may think, what on earth has this got to do with evolution? Well, I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay. I'll try to get the whole thing mixed up again. Okay, well, seems pretty mixed up, doesn't it? Okay. Well, maybe not as pretty as I wanted to, but no. We have to go on a little while. Still not thoroughly enough mixed up. Well, better mixed. Okay. Okay, well. And what I'm going to do, you can see it's nicely mixed up. And maybe not as good as I like it to be, but okay. We have to do it for a moment. It's quite mixed up. What I'm going to do is to shake the whole thing and twist it and shake it and so on. And you will see a process which I'm going to explain in a moment. Okay. What you see happening is that the particles, the rice and the sugar and the coffee beans, are slowly, in a matter of, well, seconds, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, yeah, they're separating. Yeah. You see that the big particles, the big lumpy coffee beans are going to the top, and that the rice corns, they settle mostly in the middle, and the sugar you can see very nicely. Yeah, that the beans are on top, the rice is in the middle, and the sugar gets go to the lower parts of the bottle. Well, this process is called segregation, and it's an evolution killer, because segregation is what takes place if you take a whole lot of dirt or sand or clay and mix them together in water or in air, and if you let it settle down somewhere, and what happens is the same process as what happens here. It forms distinguishable layers. Now, well, on the whole Earth you see all kinds of mountains with layers of earth. They're very tightly together, and you see it as well here. They're very tightly together. Now, well, this happened also during the flood. You see this layering of the earth and in the mountains. You see it worldwide. Wherever you go and you see mountains, you see some kind of stratification, what they call. Well, this is caused by what science calls segregation. But what is segregation? And I'm going to show you first a picture from this magazine. It's a scientific magazine from Journal of Creation, and in it there is an article in this number, in this issue, about rapid stratification of sand and clay and dirt and so on. Well, I'll show you a picture. I hope it's clearly visible. I'm trying to go to zoom out, maybe that you, from one point, you will see it. Yeah. Well, this picture, this photograph was taken somewhere in Australia at a beach, where there was sand thrown up the beach. And also over here, these are photos from also from a beach where sand was deposited on the beach because there was because of a storm. A part of the beach disappeared, and they put the sand back. They had a slurry of water and sand mixed from the sea, and they threw it back on the beach so that the beach was restored. What they found was a minute layering of the sand. There was a stratification within no time. Yeah. Well, and that happens also happened also with what you see in the mountains, the stratification of all those layers. It explains a whole lot, things a whole lot better than what evolution trying to make us believe, that the stratification took place many thousands and millions of years. That's simply not true. It could have happened in minutes, in hours, maybe days, at the most months. But it took place very rapidly. Well, what is causing segregation? And that's why I turn to the board. And I use the spoon for pointing. It's handy, you know. Okay, segregation. Well, segregation, and what we have is different type of particles. You see here coffee beans, rice and sugar. Well, they have different shapes, and one of the big issue about separating these particles is the shape. The shape is determining where they are seated. That's one of the aspects. You can have grains, like in this case the rice, but sand particles can also certain kind of crystal minerals can also have grain-sized shapes, or lumpy balls, or plates, yeah, platelets, or tiny spheres, balls.